My beloved child, before you continue with everything that is demanding your attention today, be still for a moment. Do not rush past this message as though it were just another voice among many. Your heart has been carrying questions that your lips have never spoken aloud, and I have seen every one of them. I know the weight you have been trying to carry alone. I know the nights when sleep would not come because your mind refused to be quiet. I know the moments when you smiled for others while silently asking if anyone truly understood what was happening inside you. Listen carefully. Do not ignore this moment, not because I want to frighten you, but because love always calls before it corrects, comforts before it restores, and reaches before it rescues. You have spent too much time believing that your worth depends on how well you perform, how many people approve of you, or how perfectly everything seems to be going. Yet none of those things have ever determined your value. Your value was never created by the opinions of people, and it will never be destroyed by the disappointments you have faced. There are days when you wonder why certain prayers seem unanswered. You look around and see others moving ahead, while you feel as though you are standing in the same place. The waiting has become exhausting. The silence has become confusing. You have even questioned whether heaven still hears your voice. But listen to me. Silence is not absence. Waiting is not rejection. Delay is not defeat. There are seasons when roots must grow deeper before branches become visible. If I showed you everything I'm preparing, you would try to run ahead of my timing. Instead, I am teaching you to trust my heart, even when you cannot yet understand my plan. Remember what my word declares. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5, your understanding sees only today. My wisdom sees every tomorrow. You are worried about the next step, while I am already preparing the road beyond it. Do not measure my faithfulness by what you can see today. Measure it by every battle I have already carried you through. There were moments when you believed you would never recover, yet you are still here. There were storms you thought would destroy your peace, yet you survived them. There were tears that nobody else noticed, but not one of them escaped my sight. I have counted every tear. I have heard every whispered prayer. I have never stopped walking beside you, even when you believed you were walking alone. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand today. The enemy wants you to become so distracted by fear that you can no longer recognize hope standing right in front of you. Fear always tells you to imagine the worst. Faith reminds you that I am already present in tomorrow. Do not let anxiety become the loudest voice inside your heart. Come back to my promises, come back to my peace, come back to my presence, because my presence will accomplish what panic never can. Perhaps today you feel tired of trying. Perhaps you have prayed the same prayer so many times that you no longer know what else to say. Perhaps disappointment has whispered that nothing will ever change. Do not believe that lie. Seeds buried beneath the earth always appear forgotten before they begin to grow. No one applauds the hidden roots. No one celebrates the unseen preparation. Yet without those hidden seasons, there can never be lasting fruit. That is exactly what I have been doing within you. I have not been wasting your waiting. I have been strengthening your roots. I have been teaching your heart to remain steady when circumstances refuse to cooperate. I've been shaping your character in ways success alone never could. One day you will look back and realize that what felt like delay was actually protection. What looked like silence was preparation. What seemed like loss became the doorway to something greater than you imagined. So do not ignore this message. Receive it. Hold it close. Allow it to quiet every voice that tells you your story is over. Because I have not finished writing your story. Not even close. There are chapters you have not yet lived. Blessings you have not yet recognized. Doors you have not yet seen. People you have not yet met. prayers that are already moving toward their appointed time. You keep asking me to hurry. I keep asking you to trust. And trust is never built during easy seasons. Trust grows when you continue, walking even though you cannot yet see the destination. Remember Peter, he did not walk on water because the storm disappeared. He walked because he fixed his eyes on me. The waves were real, the wind was real, the fear was real, but my hand was more real than every storm surrounding him. The same is true for you. You may feel surrounded by uncertainty. You may feel overwhelmed by questions. You may feel too weak for what lies ahead. Yet my strength has never depended on your strength. My power has always been made perfect in weakness. So stop believing that you must become fearless before I can use your life. I've always worked through ordinary people who simply chose to trust me one step at a time. Moses doubted, David failed, Peter stumbled, Thomas questioned, yet my grace proved greater than their weakness, and my grace is still greater than yours. Do not spend another day condemning yourself for what I have already forgiven. Do not spend another night replaying failures that my mercy has already covered. When I forgive, I do not keep returning to your past. Why then do you keep living there? Lift your eyes. Your future deserves more attention than your regrets. Your purpose deserves more attention than your mistakes. Your calling deserves more attention than your fear. My beloved child, I know you are tired. I know you have tried to stay strong for longer than anyone realizes. I know there are moments when even smiling feels like work, but hear me today. You are not carrying tomorrow alone. You never were. I go before you. I walk beside you. I remain within you, and my love has never left you for a single moment. So do not ignore this message. Let it become the beginning of renewed hope. Let it remind you that my promises have not expired. Let it remind you that my timing has never failed. Let it remind you that I am still opening doors no person can close, still healing wounds no medicine can reach, still restoring hearts that believe they are beyond repair. Stay close to me. Keep praying even when answers seem delayed. Keep believing even when circumstances disagree. Keep walking even when progress feels slow, because the one who began a good work in you is faithful to complete it. And before this season is over, you will understand that I was never delaying your blessing. I was preparing both the blessing and the person who would receive it. My beloved child, do not allow your heart to believe that your journey ends where your pain began. The chapter you have been living through is not the final chapter of your story. What you call an ending, I often call a beginning. What feels like a closed door to you may actually be my protection, preparing you for a greater door that you cannot yet see. I know there have been moments when you asked, Lord, where are you? You looked around, hoping for a sign, hoping for an answer, hoping for something that would tell you everything was going to be all right. Sometimes the answer did not come as quickly as you expected, and because of the silence, you assumed I had forgotten you. But my beloved child, I have never forgotten you. Not for 1 second, not for 1 heartbeat. Even when your faith became weak, my faithfulness remained strong. Even when your prayers became nothing more than tears, I understood every word your heart could not speak. Remember this truth. My love for you does not rise and fall with your emotions. My promises do not change because your circumstances change. I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when fear tells you that you have been abandoned, answer that fear with my promises. When doubt whispers that nothing will ever change, answer it with faith. When discouragement tells you to give up, remember how many times I have already carried you through impossible situations. Take a moment right now. If your heart is ready to trust again, write, I will trust God in the comments below. Let that be more than words. Let it become your declaration of faith today. There are blessings that cannot grow in the soil of constant fear. They grow in hearts that continue believing even when they cannot yet see the harvest. Some of you have been asking me to remove every storm from your life, yet there are times when I calm my child before I calm the storm. Peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is my presence with you in the middle of it. Think about that. The waves may still be rising, the wind may still be blowing, but if I am in the boat with you, you are never without hope. You have spent too much time comparing your journey with someone else's. You see their victories, but you do not know their battles. You see their smiles, but you do not know the tears they cried before anyone noticed them. Do not compare. Comparison steals joy. Comparison blinds you to the blessings already growing in your own life. Instead, lift your eyes toward me. I know exactly where you are, I know exactly what you need, and I know exactly when the answer should arrive. If I gave you every blessing before your heart was prepared to receive it, what I intended to help you could eventually harm you. That is why my timing is always filled with wisdom. Trust my timing more than your feelings. Trust my promises more than your fears. Trust my character more than your circumstances. My beloved child, there is someone listening right now who feels completely worn out. You have tried to stay strong for everyone else while secretly wondering who will be strong for you. Hear this clearly. You do not have to carry everything alone anymore. Bring your burdens to me. Bring your worry. My beloved child, before you allow another day to pass, I want you to pause and ask yourself one question. What has been controlling your heart lately? Has it been faith or fear? Has it been hope or disappointment? Has it been my promises? Or the voices that constantly tell you nothing will ever change? The answer to that question matters more than you realize, because whatever you feed your heart today will shape the direction of your tomorrow. I know there are moments when you look at your circumstances and wonder how everything became so complicated. You remember a time when your faith felt stronger, when your prayers came more easily, and when hope seemed natural. But life has a way of testing what the heart truly believes. Yet I have not brought you this far to leave you here. Every step you have taken, even the painful ones, has taught you something that comfort never could. The tears taught you compassion. The waiting taught you patience. The disappointments taught you to depend less on people and more on me. You may not have chosen those lessons, but I can use every one of them for your good. Never believe that your pain has been meaningless. Nothing placed in my hands is ever wasted. The nights you cried, the dreams that seemed delayed, the relationships that ended, the opportunities you thought you lost. I have seen every detail. There are pieces of your story that still do not make sense to you because you are reading one page at a time. I see the entire book. I know how every chapter connects. I know how today's confusion becomes tomorrow's testimony. So trust me with the pages you do not yet understand. Do not demand answers before your heart is ready to receive them. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is simply saying, Lord, I don't understand, but I choose to trust you anyway. That kind of faith moves mountains. It opens doors that human strength never could. It brings peace into places where anxiety once lived. My beloved child, there are blessings already moving toward your life. You cannot see them yet. You cannot touch them yet, but my timing has never been late. While you have been worrying, I have been working. While you have been questioning, I have been preparing. While you have been waiting, I have been arranging people, opportunities, and moments that will arrive exactly when they should. Do not mistake my quietness for inactivity. I'm always working in ways your eyes cannot see. Joseph could not see the palace while sitting in a prison. David could not see the throne while hiding in caves. Ruth could not see redemption while gathering leftover grain. Yet my plan never failed. Neither will it fail for you. If your heart still believes that God is working behind the scenes, write "God is still working" in the comments below. Let your words encourage someone else who may be struggling to hold on today. Never underestimate what one act of faith can do. Someone reading your comment may find the courage to keep believing. Someone who feels alone today may discover hope because you chose to declare your trust. That is how light spreads. One heart encourages another. One prayer strengthens another. One testimony reminds another person that miracles still happen. My beloved child, I also want to remind you of something you have forgotten. You are not defined by your worst day. You are not defined by your biggest mistake. You are not defined by the opinions of people who never understood your journey. You are defined by my love. And my love has never changed. When people walked away, I remained. When opportunities disappeared, I remained. When your own strength failed, I remained. I have always remained. That is why your future is filled with hope. Not because life will always be easy, but because you will never face it alone. There will still be challenges. There will still be moments that test your patience. There will still be days when answers seem far away. But there will also be unexpected peace, unexpected strength, unexpected favor, unexpected restoration. The same God who carried you yesterday will carry you tomorrow. So do not allow temporary pain to convince you that permanent defeat is your future. It is not. The story is still unfolding. The pages are still being written, and some of the most beautiful chapters are still ahead of you. If this message has encouraged your heart, take a moment to share this video with someone who needs hope today. You never know whose life may be touched by a simple act of kindness. And if you haven't already, subscribe to The Final Calling so we can continue growing together in faith, hope, and God's Word. My beloved child, hold on just a little longer. Do not stop praying. Do not stop believing. Do not stop expecting good things from me. Because even now, while you are listening to these words, I am preparing something that your heart has prayed for more times than you can count. The answer may not arrive the way you expected. It may not come at the moment you planned. But when it comes, you will understand why waiting was necessary. You will understand why every closed door protected you. You will understand why every delay shaped you, and you will look back with gratitude instead of regret. So keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith alive, because what I want to reveal next is not only about where you have been, it is about the incredible future I have been preparing for you all along. My beloved child, there is one more truth I want you to hold close to your heart today. Never mistake a difficult season for a defeated life. The enemy wants you to believe that because this chapter has been painful, the rest of your story will be the same. He wants you to look at today's struggle and assume tomorrow holds no hope. But that has never been my way. I specialize in bringing light where darkness seems strongest. I bring peace into anxious hearts. I restore what people believed could never be restored. I breathe life into dreams that everyone else has declared impossible. That is who I have always been. That is who I will always be. So why should this season convince you that I have changed? I have not. The same hands that formed the stars are still holding your future. The same voice that calmed the sea is still able to calm your heart. The same love that has carried generations before you is carrying you even now. You keep asking me for a sign. Yet if you stop for a moment and look carefully, you will realize I have been leaving reminders of my faithfulness all along. Think about every time you believed you would not make it, yet somehow you did. Think about every door that closed only to lead you towards something better. Think about every unexpected blessing that arrived when you had almost stopped expecting anything good. Those moments were not accidents. They were quiet reminders that I was always working behind the scenes. Sometimes I answer prayers by opening doors. Sometimes I answer prayers by closing them. And sometimes I answer prayers by asking you to wait because I can see dangers that you cannot. You call it delay. I call it protection. One day you will thank me for the opportunities that never happened. One day you will understand why certain relationships had to end. One day you will realize that every painful goodbye made room for a better hello. Trust me with the parts of your story that you cannot yet understand. You are not walking without direction. You are walking by faith. There is a difference. Faith does not require you to know every detail. Faith simply asks you to trust the one who already knows them. Remember the words written in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Those words were never meant to be forgotten during hard times. They were written especially for them. My beloved child, I know your heart has grown tired. Waiting has tested your patience. Disappointment has tested your faith. Loneliness has tested your courage. But none of those things have defeated the purpose I have placed inside you. You are stronger than you realize, not because of your own strength, but because my grace has carried you farther than your own ability ever could. Even now I am building something inside you that success alone could never create. I am building perseverance. I am building wisdom. I am building compassion. I am building unshakable faith. These treasures cannot be purchased. They are formed in the quiet places where trust becomes deeper than understanding. Do not rush the process. Do not resent the waiting. Some of the greatest miracles begin long before anyone can see them. A tree spends years strengthening its roots before people admire its height. In the same way, I have been strengthening your foundation, because where I am taking you, shallow roots will not be enough. You have prayed for greater influence. You have prayed for greater purpose. You have prayed for greater blessings. But greater blessings require a stronger foundation. That is exactly what I have been preparing. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, pause for a moment and write, "Amen, I trust your timing," in the comments below. Your words may become the encouragement someone else has been praying to read today. Never underestimate how one testimony can strengthen another believer. Hope spreads from heart to heart. Faith grows when people remind each other of my goodness. That is why I have called you not only to receive encouragement, but also to become encouragement. Someone is watching your life more closely than you realize. Your kindness may restore their hope. Your patience may strengthen their faith. Your forgiveness may inspire them to choose peace instead of bitterness. You may never know how many lives your quiet obedience will touch, so continue choosing love. Continue choosing grace. Continue choosing forgiveness. Not because people always deserve it, but because I have shown those same gifts to you. Bitterness builds prisons. Forgiveness opens door. My beloved child, as you continue walking this journey with me, there is something I want you to understand that many people never truly learn. The greatest victories are often born in the quietest moments. The world celebrates what happens on the stage, but I do some of my greatest work behind the scenes. Before anyone sees the harvest, I am already preparing the soil. Before the blessing becomes visible, I am already shaping the heart that will receive it. That is what I have been doing in your life. You have asked me, why has this season taken so long? Because I care more about who you are becoming than how quickly you arrive. If I gave you everything you wanted before your character was ready, the blessing itself could become a burden. I am not preparing you only to receive more. I am preparing you to carry more. There is a difference. Many people pray for bigger opportunities. Few pray for the wisdom to handle them. Many ask for greater influence. Few ask for a humble heart that will honor me after they receive it. But I have been working on both. I have been strengthening your heart in places that no one else can see. Every disappointment has taught you endurance. Every delay has taught you patience. Every unanswered question has invited you to trust me more deeply than before. None of it has been meaningless. My beloved child, stop measuring your progress only by what is happening around you. Instead, ask yourself this: am I becoming more loving? Am I becoming more patient? Am I learning to forgive more quickly? Am I learning to trust God more than I did a year ago? Those are the victories that heaven celebrates. Success without peace is empty. Achievement without love leaves the heart restless, but a life rooted in my presence will continue to bear fruit in every season. Remember what my word says in Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Notice those last words. If we do not give up. The enemy cannot always stop your blessing. Sometimes he simply tries to convince you to quit before it arrives. Do not fall into that trap. You are closer than you think. There have been moments when you wanted to stop praying. Moments when worship felt difficult. Moments when your faith seemed smaller than your fears. Yet somehow you kept taking one more step. That was my grace carrying you. Even when you thought your faith was weak, I was holding your hand. Never forget that. Your strength has never been the foundation of your journey. My faithfulness has. My beloved child, I also want to heal something deeper inside you. You have carried wounds created by words. People spoke things over your life that were never true. Some told you that you would never succeed. Some made you feel invisible. Others caused you to question your own worth. For years you have replayed those voices. Today, I am asking you to replace them with my truth. You are loved. You are chosen. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not a mistake. You are my workmanship, created with purpose. Do not allow temporary opinions to become permanent beliefs. The people around you may misunderstand your calling. They may not recognize the work I am doing inside you. That is all right. Not everyone needs to understand your assignment. Their approval is not your purpose. My approval is enough. Walk confidently in the direction I am leading you, even if others question you, even if they doubt you, even if they laugh before they celebrate. Noah built the ark before anyone believed him. David was anointed long before he became king. The process always comes before the promise. If you are still believing that God is preparing something greater, write, "My story isn't over," in the comments. Someone reading your words today may discover the courage to keep trusting God one more day. And if this message has strengthened your faith, take a moment to like this video. Every like helps this message reach another heart that may desperately need encouragement today. My beloved child, never underestimate the power of a grateful heart. Gratitude changes the way you see your life. Instead of focusing only on what is missing, begin noticing what I have already provided. Thank me for the breath in your lungs. Thank me for the strength to keep moving forward. Thank me for the lessons that have made you wiser. Thank me even for the closed doors that protected you from paths that would have led to pain. Gratitude does not ignore difficulties. It simply remembers that my goodness is greater than them. The more your heart learns gratitude, the easier it becomes to recognize my fingerprints throughout your life. You will begin seeing my provision where you once saw coincidence. You will begin seeing my guidance where you once saw delay. You will begin seeing my love in places you never expected. That is the kind of faith I want to grow within you. A faith that remains steady, regardless of circumstances. A faith that continues praising even before the answer arrives. A faith that trusts my character more than changing emotions. My beloved child, I want you to hear this clearly. The chapter you are living today is preparing you for a testimony that will encourage countless others. One day, someone will ask how you survived. You will smile, not because life was easy, but because my grace was enough. One day, someone will wonder how you found peace in the middle of uncertainty. You will tell them that peace was never found in perfect circumstances. It was found in my presence. One day, someone will need the hope that is growing inside you right now. Do not waste this season. Let it shape you. Let it strengthen you. Let it bring you closer to me than ever before. And if you have not already become part of this family, subscribe to The Final Calling and continue walking this journey of faith with us. Together, let us encourage one another, pray for one another, and keep our eyes fixed on God's promises. My beloved child, take another step. Lift your head, strengthen your heart. The road ahead may still have challenges, but it is also filled with opportunities, unexpected blessings, divine appointments, and moments that will remind you that I have been with you every step of the way. So do not stop now. Do not grow weary. Do not allow fear to write the ending of your story, because I am still writing it. And what I am about to show you next will reveal that my plan for your life has always been far greater than anything you could have imagined. My beloved child, there is a reason I have been asking you not to lose heart. There is a reason I have been reminding you to keep walking, even when the path has seemed long and uncertain. It is because I can see what you cannot. While you are focused on today's struggle, I am looking at the purpose that is waiting beyond it. Do not become so discouraged by what is happening around you that you forget who is walking beside you. I have never asked you to carry your future on your own shoulders. I have only asked you to trust me one day at a time. Many people spend their lives worrying about tomorrow while missing the grace I have already provided for today. They become so overwhelmed by questions that they fail to recognize the blessings already surrounding them. But I want something different for you. I want your heart to become steady. Not because every problem disappears, but because you know I am greater than every problem you will ever face. There will always be voices competing for your attention. One voice tells you that you are too late. Another tells you that you are not good enough. Another reminds you of your failures again and again. But my voice speaks differently. I remind you that my mercy is new every morning. I remind you that your identity is not found in your past, but in my love. I remind you that no mistake is greater than my grace when your heart turns toward me. So stop carrying the weight of yesterday. Yesterday has already finished its work. Today is where faith is needed. Today is where hope must rise again. Today is where courage begins. My beloved child, there is someone listening to these words who has almost given up praying for a certain situation. You have prayed so many times that you no longer know what else to say. The silence has made you wonder whether heaven has forgotten your name. But I have not forgotten. Every prayer you have whispered has been heard. Every tear you have cried has been seen. Every act of faith has been remembered. Sometimes the answer is delayed because I am preparing more than one life at the same time. You are praying for one miracle. I'm arranging many pieces that must come together before that miracle arrives. Trust the process. The same God who controls the stars also controls the timing of your time.